Listen!
Welcome everyone, this is AndresRestart, and it is finally happening. The final big Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom trailer has been confirmed to be coming out tomorrow during a live stream from Nintendo, April 13th, 7 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We will be live streaming it tomorrow, having a pre-show, reacting to it live, and then a post-show analyzing it to Kingdom Come. This is a big deal, and today we're doing our predictions for that trailer. But before we jump into that, let me point out that we are aiming to hit 25,000 subscribers by the time Tears of the Kingdom comes out on May 12th. So if you enjoy my content, please subscribe and hit the notification bell, because then we might just make it. So please keep in mind that this is a very quickly done video. The editing will be very simple, but I really want to talk about this before it's too late. There's less than a day before this happens. It is upon us. And what I find interesting about this, well, there's several things I find interesting about this, but the first thing I'll bring up here is that throughout these last few weeks, these last few months, we've gotten information suggesting that news will be coming for Tears of the Kingdom. And then we talk about it, people doubt it, and then it still happens. So I'm not trying to say that I have the be-all end-all on all this information. I don't. And the source on the initial gameplay demonstration is different from the source on the news coming this week. But ultimately, you know, we just kind of talked about what made sense. So right now, friend of the channel, Mike Odyssey, has gotten a lot of flack because he's been getting emails that have lined up with things happening publicly. And so he made a video talking about how there's an email telling him that a Tears of the Kingdom Direct would happen this week. Now, we didn't get a Tears of the Kingdom Direct on April 12th, but we are getting a trailer tomorrow, April 13th. You could argue good enough, you could argue not, but I'm pointing it out there for those that have doubted his information. I'll leave it for you to decide if it's legitimate or not, but definitely, you know, it's lining up somewhat close to us getting information. But when it comes to this trailer, I do feel that the best comparison for what this trailer is going to be like is the trailer we got from Breath of the Wild during the Nintendo Switch 2017 presentation. When I first saw that trailer, I thought it was the greatest trailer ever made for a video game. And I might still stand by it, but definitely at the time, it was an exciting trailer that got everyone super hyped for Breath of the Wild. It really gave us a lot of glimpses to the story in a non-spoilery kind of way. It gave us glimpses to the gameplay and some of the dungeons and shrines. It did a lot. It really hyped this up. And this trailer tomorrow is going to be the longest trailer we've gotten for Tears of the Kingdom so far. This is going to be a dense trailer filled with content, and it's going to hype us up. This is going to be the last official news coming straight from Nintendo about this game before it comes out. Sure, there'll probably be some previews and reviews that come out that may reveal a few more details, but this is the big final thing. So what we need to know about this game, we're finding out tomorrow for this trailer. So what do we need to know? Well, I think we need to have an understanding of the gameplay loop. So what would that entail? We know about the sky, we know about the powers and the surface. I think we're going to get confirmation, or close to confirmation, because if they just show it and don't tell it, that's debatable, but we're going to think it's pretty likely after tomorrow that there will be underground exploration, and it'll be tied closely to the overall gameplay loop between going through the sky, the surface, and as well as the underground. So I think that's going to be a big component to the trailer tomorrow. I also believe that they will show us some shrines, the Zonai versions of the shrines. They will show us how they've changed and how they are pivotal to this game. We may get an understanding of why we're going to these shrines, Link's goal in that, but we'll get more to the story in a bit. I also think we'll get some evidence to major dungeons. I think we're going to see something to that. Will it be totally clear? I don't think it'll be totally clear, but I think we'll see some things where we're going to see that and be, well, that's huge. There's no way that's just a mini shrine. That looks like a major dungeon. I think we're going to see this tomorrow. I think we're going to see some more overworld bosses. Maybe we'll get a closer look at that three-headed flaming dragon, the Gleeok. I think we'll see more of that, get a better understanding of how that overall boss fight will be. And perhaps what's most important, while all these gameplay things are going to be interesting and enticing and give us a better understanding of the overall structure of the game, I also think we're going to get a good understanding of the story and the motive behind Link's efforts and why he's trying to do what he's trying to do throughout the world of Hyrule this time. I think we're going to learn what happens to Zelda. It's been under debate all this time, and I think tomorrow we're going to get a much better understanding of what's going on with her. Is she playable? Is she dead? Is she just a prominent character throughout the story this time around, and we'll be seeing and interacting with throughout the story? Tomorrow we find out. I also think we're going to get a new look at Ganon or Ganondorf. We're going to see how he looks. We're going to see him speak and hear his voice at the same time. And that's going to be very interesting to see. It's going to be cool to see his new design. Yes, we've seen his zombie form, but there's a lot of speculation that he'll be rehydrated in some way. I think there's going to be something to this because that mummy form doesn't look like it could utter a clear voice in the way it was in the most recent trailer. So I do think there's going to be some transformation here, some return to a more normal form, especially because with the very first teaser trailer, we see this one flash silhouette where we see a more normal, less mummified form. So I do think we're going to see that tomorrow. And I also think we're going to learn about how Link and Zelda deal with the opening segment for Tears of the Kingdom, which is that battle that we see in the first initial teaser, and what happens, how they recover, how Link is incapacitated and awakens in the sky in that giant sort of upside down pyramid tower thing we've seen throughout the different trailers and in the gameplay demonstration. I think we'll get a good understanding that that section we saw Anuma playing through is, for the most part, basically the equivalent to the Great Plateau. I think that's fairly supported already, considering that there are shrines that are completed. Link has 4 abilities. He only has 4 hearts and a base level stamina wheel, suggesting that his progress is equivalent to having just beaten the Great Plateau when we think of it in terms of Breath of the Wild terms. But we're going to learn what happens. We're going to learn about that green hand and its connection and how it relates to the overall story. And we're going to see what Link is trying to do in this game. We're going to see if he's trying to collect the tears or if he's trying to find the Triforce. Like, we're going to get some level of a better understanding to this. It's not going to be totally clear, just for the record. Like, they're not going to spoil the entire story, but we're going to get these glimpses that are going to give us a lot of material to think on. And after this, people are going to be aware, for the most part, of how things start, of how epic the story is going to be, of the kind of dungeons we may see in this game, and a better understanding of how changed the world is this time around in Tears of the Kingdom. And let me talk about that briefly as well. The world is going to be different. I think when they showed us the surface before, it wasn't that different, at least first glance. I think we're also going to see more examples of how the surface has changed in Tears of the Kingdom too. So when it's all said and done, once you've watched this trailer, if you're looking at every little piece and analyzing it, as we will be on the channel, you'll see evidence extensively for Underground, for shrines, dungeons, Zelda's role, how Ganon has changed, Link's goal. And it's all going to come together, and many who have doubted that this game is going to be a significant leap over Breath of the Wild in terms of content, I think a lot of people's minds are going to change tomorrow. I think a lot of us are going to be incredibly excited for this game, more so than now. And I'll throw out one more little prediction. I think this trailer will rival the hype behind the first Breath of the Wild trailer. Maybe even more so. All eyes are on this trailer. It's going to be a big deal, and I can't wait for tomorrow. Until then, why don't you subscribe and hit the notification bell if you're new here and you enjoy my content, and maybe tune into my live stream later where we'll be talking more about this trailer and starting our Master Mode Breath of the Wild run in the lead up to the release for Tears of the Kingdom. I'll see you all then. Take care.